We've been waiting so long, the season's finally here. Soak it up and cheer, cause T-Wolves Talk is here. No need to fear, the wait is now gone. So farewell so long, cause T-Wolves Talk is on. Yeah, T-Wolves Talk is on.
All right, folks, and we are back with season 2 of the best Timberwolves podcast on the internet, Timberwolves Talk. I'm Chris, and that is Peyton. And if you guys have not clicked on our videos before, we do the Timberwolves Talk here on Bass Hole Media. So,
well, if you've been looking for Timberwolves news in the last 3 months, you definitely have not clicked on any of our videos because, you know, we kind of took the summer off, and you know, I think it's okay, but I'm very excited to be back here for season 2 of the Timberwolves Talk podcast, brought to you by Bass Hole Media, also brought to you by Boomerang Energy. And you know what, for everyone watching, we're going to take you guys along for a great ride and hopefully to a playoff run. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, and just a quick note, we've been reading all your guys' DMs and comments and everything. We really enjoyed the love. Everyone's kind of been asking where we've been this summer. I think we did one podcast over the summer?
Yeah, we did 1 or 2, and we kept saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a lot more, but it just never really happened. I mean, I guess we should probably explain like where we've been. Like I've been traveling a lot, working a lot. Chris has been at camp all summer. Counselor.
I've been more 8-hour days, 5 days of the week. I mean, it's been super busy for both of us. Peyton worked like 3 jobs. But yeah, we're back at it. We're super, super excited to get back at it because, you know, this was the highlight of last year for us. You know, with COVID and everything, we started the podcast, obviously, and it's been a huge success. We've been doing super well with all the Timberwolves content, and we're super excited for this season because it's going to be a new season for us and a new season for the Wolves. And hopefully, you know, both parties can feed off each other and do good.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a few things, I guess. There's a few main topics we should definitely go into. The first is on draft night. So I was at work, just kind of sitting where all the servers sit, not really doing anything. I get a notification. Ricky Rubio. Wait, no. So the first notification was Ricky Rubio and the Timberwolves trade Ricky Rubio and a second-round pick to the and cash to the Cavaliers for Taurean Prince. I'm like, what? So I call Chris. I'm like, Chris, do you see that? And he's like, yeah, what the heck? And it was just crazy. So what were your initial thoughts on that before Woj came out and switched it up because he made a typo?
You know, my initial thoughts were, even if we had to give up a second round in cash for Taurean Prince, I honestly would not have been mad. There's a couple reasons, obviously. You know, we lessened our cap hit greatly with Rubio's $17 million contract off the books. And in all honesty, I think everyone can admit to this, that the Ricky Rubio, it just wasn't a good fit, I don't think, last season, especially with, you know, we have a loaded backcourt. Like there's way too many guards on the Timberwolves roster. I mean, everyone realizes this, and it's becoming even more of a problem, even while trading Ricky Rubio, because of how well Jalen Noel's playing this offseason, and, you know, them wanting to get Jordan McLaughlin back, and it's tough. It's tough to find space, but I think it's a great trade. You know, I saw it. We both texted each other, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down with Taurean Prince. He's what we need. You know, he's a 3-and-D guy. He's made some plays for the Nets. I mean, I think he averaged like 8 points a game last season, but he is like the Drew League and the pickup court god. Like if you guys go watch some mixtapes of him like shooting and stuff, he just goes off at these like pro runs and stuff like that. So I'm super excited. You know, anytime the Wolves can get some shooting and like mediocre defense, I am 100% on board with that. Obviously, I do think it's a big loss. You know, Ant loved Ricky. I mean, I think obviously everyone loves Ricky Rubio. I mean, I don't know how you can't, but at the end of the day, you know, it just wasn't a good fit. And I think the funny part is, you know, everyone says like Minnesota is the place to go and die.
What?
like if you get like included in a trade, like you do not want to go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. You are always going to be last. But I honestly think Ricky Rubio got the short end of the stick with this one. I think going to the Cavs might be worse than like coming from the Wolves. Like I do believe that.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. Like he got welcomed home like he was some king, and everyone was so excited that Ricky Rubio was back. I think did we even make a video about it? I think we might have made a video about it right when he came back, and everyone was just so excited. The leg monster.
Yeah, we might have made it. I think we did make a video about it. Are we good now?
I think so. We should be. You can hear me right up to date.
Yeah, I got you, guys. If you don't know, we tend to have a lot of connection issues with this podcast. So hopefully it can be nice to us for the remainder of this podcast.
It's Chris's Wi-Fi too. Just to let you guys know.
It is 100% not my Wi-Fi. We just got a new Wi-Fi this weekend. You got a new router, new internet,
new everything. So mine is crystal clear. I think it's got to be you.
All right, that's fair.
But as I was saying, I think I just feel bad for Ricky Rubio. I feel like everyone was so excited for him to get here, and then he's just started playing, and everyone's like, "This guy's terrible. Like he's just a terrible fit for the team," and everyone was just pretty excited for him to get shipped off. Honestly.
I honestly just like, I don't know, if you guys watch the Timberwolves talk season 1, a lot of it, last year we had Doogie on a couple times, Darren Wolfson, and he talked about the effect of COVID on Ricky Rubio. And if I'm being completely honest, like, I don't know if COVID changes the person's that game that much. Like,
but no, you saw him in the Olympics, man. He was like dropping.
He was balling. He made
right before we traded him.
You see that?
Yeah, right before we traded him, I was like, all right, like Ricky Rubio, like maybe he's gonna be good next year. And then we traded him right away. So with our luck, he's gonna have a comeback season next year.
It was just a lack of awareness on the court. I don't know. Like it was just I thought his defense was how it usually is. Like Ricky Rubio is a plus defender in most cases. His main skill was just not good. Like he turned the ball over like
he had the
tremendous amount of times.
He had the worst dribble percentage in the NBA. That's a stat. I don't know what the stat is. I think it's turnovers per dribble or something crazy like that. But he had the worst dribble percentage in the whole NBA.
If you're a point guard and you have the worst dribble percentage in the NBA, like just say that out loud.
Who comes up with that stat? Who comes up with that stat?
I don't. I like the advanced analytics. It's kind of funny to see who leads in different categories. But you just like even just the average fan could see that something was not clicking with Ricky Rubio and the Timberwolves. It was the poor shot selection, the lack of ball handling, bad passes, and I just don't know if he was a clear-cut fit with like young candidates like Jalen Noel and McLaughlin needing playing time, and like they'd play. I think a lot of people forget that Ryan Saunders was our coach for half the year last year. I think a lot of people forget that was an era of Timberwolves basketball. I mean, that was terrible. Ryan Saunders was playing that Ricky Rubio and D'Lo lineup so much, like it was
tough.
It was bad, man. So it was really tough to watch. So I think the Ricky Rubio, hopefully he goes and performs in Cleveland. Like, best of luck to him. I hope he gets shipped off to a contender, though. I really do. I hope the Lakers trade for him or something, or some team that needs him, because they have two really good young guards in Cleveland, so he's not going to start. I can tell you that. I can tell you Garland and Sexton are definitely going to start over him. So
yeah,
it's tough.
I agree. And so kind of the next thing I want to get into is I'm just trying to go through my emotions on draft night and everyone else's. So when we made that trade, it was a couple hours before the draft. So kind of the narrative going around was that we were going to go on and use Prince and that second round pick and like that extra cap space we have to make a bigger move. And then the Timberwolves tweeted a picture of Gerson on hold and they're like making moves or something and nothing happened. We didn't have a draft pick the whole night. We didn't make any more trades, and it was just crickets. Nothing happened, and everyone was just so angry. What did you think about that?
I think it's honestly, I don't think it was him, not wanting to make a trade. I think if it was available, he might have done it. He's an aggressive GM. I think just the way the board set up, I'm sure there's something he didn't like, and I'm sure that's to make a move. If the move would have presented itself, then I'm sure he would have made the move. I guess my analogy to it would be like the Bears moving up for Justin Fields. If their guy slid down to whatever it was, I'm sure they would have made the trade and moved up, but they never did. And I think Gerson has been getting a lot of hate this offseason because all the Wolves fans, want to see the huge splash and want to see the trades and wanted to see the, us moving into the first round of the draft. But in all honesty, I think everyone knows that we had no cap space.
Exactly. Everyone forgets that shit.
We have a couple of, restricted free agents that we would really like to sign. They're pretty key pieces in our second team rotation. And we didn't have any money. I think we also have to keep in mind that Anthony Edwards is going to get a very big contract in the next 2 to 3 years. And, it's nice to honestly let some of your players just develop sometimes. Like I'm fully on board with I'm fully on board with the young core we have, and I'm ready to see where development takes them. Obviously everyone's talking about the Ben Simmons thing. What do you think? What would you give? What's a fair price for Ben Simmons for the Wolves?
See, I honestly, man, I'm over the Ben Simmons thing. I really wanted him for a little bit there when everyone was saying how terrible he was, and I was like, okay, he's not terrible. Like we could really use him, and I kind of thought the asking price was going to be pretty relatively low. But what they're asking for Ben Simmons is like they're still acting like he's a superstar level player, and he might be. But just after what happened in the playoffs last year, I think their asking price is just so high. So what I would give up is not even close to what their asking price. I would give up something like Patrick Beverley, Malik Beasley, and then 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, mine. I think mine
enough.
would be fairly similar. I think I don't know when it got leaked. I don't know who leaked it when it got leaked, but the reported asking, what they wanted from the Warriors was Wiseman, Wiggins, and Draymond, I believe, and 4 first-round picks. I don't know if it was Draymond or what
it was 4 first rounds though. Yeah,
I know it was 4 first-round picks, and I'm like,
and plus the number 2 pick last year, who is still yet to prove himself. That's 5 basically first-round picks.
Yeah, and if you're asking, like, I don't even know what we'd have to give them at that point. We'd have to. I don't even know what Ben Simmons would be worth, because I would agree with you. I think a fair trade for Ben Simmons, because he's gonna get traded in my opinion.
He is not even talking to the teams yet.
If those reports are true, if those are true, and he's really cutting off his teammates and not texting his coach back, not reporting, then he's gonna be gone. But I think a fair asking price would probably be Malik, Pat Bev, and either 2 firsts or 1 first and Jaden. I don't see. I would hate to give away Jaden too. I think that would be detrimental to give away our best defensive player.
Yeah,
we're just trying to add defense. The whole point would be to pair those 2 up.
Yeah, it just doesn't really it wouldn't make much sense for us, especially just getting Pat Bev just to ship him right off, or the players that excite me the most on the Timberwolves roster are the players like Malik Beasley and Jaden McDaniels and Pat Bev, these new players that are so underrated. And that
I am so excited for Patrick Beverley. I don't know why Timberwolves fans are I think it's just I think it's a lot of Clipper hate, but dude, having Pat Bev on your team as a backup point guard, dude, that is so nice. He's a playoff guy. He's always in the playoffs.
I explained this to someone in the comment section. Pat Bev is one of the guys where 29 teams hate him and 1 team loves him. And that 1 team that loves him is whatever team he's playing for that season. He's kind of like a Grayson Allen type player. Everyone hates him except for if he's on your team, you love him. Brad Davidson on Wisconsin, everyone hates him except for Wisconsin fans. They love him. I think that's kind of the player that Pat Bev is.
No, I 100% agree. I think he's going to provide, obviously, just the intensity we need. I feel as a unit, I don't know if we have any really players like that right now. I think Malik's one of those guys that can get fired up like that. I think Ant is, but I don't think anyone's like Pat Bev in the NBA. I think there's a couple, you can have Russell Westbrook, Pat Bev, Damian Lillard. No, not even Damian. there's only a couple players that play like that, and that's going to be really, really, really nice to have come off the bench for us. And I'm super excited to see what Patrick Beverley can add.
It's kind
just
of
on
like
the defensive end, honestly.
It's kind of like what we wanted Ricky Rubio to be last year. We wanted him to be that defensive, like veteran leader that would like bring energy to the team, and he did not do that at all. But Pat Bev, I like, there's no way he's not going to do that. He's crazy.
And I think the big thing is too is like I like to see when players like tweet about coming to different places. Like he seems content with coming to Minnesota. Like he's tweeting a lot, man. He's
we
wearing
start
the jersey.
Tweeting at him.
We already know what jersey number he's wearing. He ain't even on the team yet. 22.
Yeah, they haven't announced him yet.
No,
does that concern you, or does that usually take a little while?
No, that's just processing and stuff like that. But he's been tweeting at like Kevin Garnett, telling him he's not gonna let him down and stuff. Like that's pretty big. Pretty big tweet right there. I mean, like, I guess the other thing. So we kind of explained it in a long terms, but those were pretty much the 2 off-season moves that we made, where we brought in Pat Bev and Torian Prince, and we shipped out Culver, Wancho, and Ricky Rubio.
Yep.
One other player I would have liked to see gone was Jake Layman, but
everyone loves Jake, man. You can't. He's a meme, man. We need a player like that. He's not.
And the thing is, too, guys, is we're recording this on August 23rd. There is 58 days until the season starts. I guarantee you the Wolves are going to make another. I don't know if it's going to be a trade. They're obviously going to make roster cuts. The roster is going to look different. It's not going to be this at the end of the year. There's going to be a move or two. There's going to be players signed from different G leagues. It's going to be awesome to see. That's always like one of the best parts is the preseason like chaos, and that's why we kind of decided to come back right now, is because we're starting to get into full swing of the NBA preseason. Summer league descended. Things are going to be happening, Stories are going to be coming out. It's going to be fun.
What'd you say, 58 days till the first game?
58 days. I think I don't even know who we're playing.
We're playing Houston.
Hey, man. That's
a dub.
That'd be a good way to start off the season, right?
Yeah, right. So, I guess I don't want to jump into the summer league quite yet. I think we got to pay our respect to Jarrett Culver. Not as much Wancho. I guess we got to talk about Wancho a little bit, just out of respect for Greg Weasley, because that is his favorite player.
I would agree.
Greg, I hope you can comment on this video and just hope that you're okay, and hope that you remain a Timberwolves fan and that you're not going to just completely move over to a Memphis Grizzlies fan. But let's start out with Wancho. So the situation going into this trade was we knew that his camp was not happy with the Timberwolves. So allegedly what happened was he hurt his shoulder, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then he thought he was well enough to play in the Olympics, and the Timberwolves just shut him down and said, nope, you're not playing for the Olympics. You can't play for Team Spain. And he was just really angry about it. So we kind of knew he was on the way out. Does that sound about accurate?
I think obviously like that, and on top of it, we didn't play him because he really didn't contribute. When players when players have one skill and they don't perform that one skill well, it makes them hard to play. And he's a shooter and he wasn't shooting well, so he adds nothing to the team. I'd rather have Vanderbilt in there who can't shoot a ball past 4 feet. At least play some defense and be intense.
Yeah. So Wancho, best moments of Wancho's season last year that I remember were that when he went Kareem mode against the Lakers. Remember that, Chris? I think you were watching the game.
19 points in like the first half or something. It was 8. Wasn't it 17 points in the first quarter or something?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was amazing. And then he never had a stretch like that the rest of the year. So with that being said, Wancho, thanks for giving us some stuff to talk about on the Timberwolves Talk podcast. Now let's get into Jarrett Culver. Just a few days ago, I was driving with you into the cities, and I remember telling you, I was like, dude, I want to be that Jarrett Culver like bandwagon guy. I still want to believe in him. Remember me telling you that?
I do remember you telling me that.
And then the next day they traded him. I was like, come on, man. I wanted to believe in him. I still have faith in this guy.
He's a like people are saying, it's a good trade for both sides. Like the Grizzlies legitimately have no use for Patrick Beverley, but they do have use for a couple young players who are going to fit with their core for the upcoming years. And I don't know. We'll see what Jarrett does. He's 20. There's at the beginning of this previous season, I was like, oh my goodness, Jarrett Culver turned the corner. I was like,
Yeah,
he
you called
finally did it.
them. You said that Anthony Edwards and Jarrett Culver were going to be the next Jaylen Brown and
No, that
Jason
was you.
Tatum.
Okay, let's
No,
not don't spread any false info here. Peyton legitimately
no,
said that last
no, that
year.
never happened. It was
That was
you.
if hopefully I can find that video and show
No,
it to you
I already
sometime.
tried. I already tried. Chris was like, dude, I think Jarrett Culver and Anthony Edwards are going to be the new Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's like, all right.
I think you said that to Doogie actually, didn't you?
No. I would never say that to Doogie.
All right,
Never say that to
whatever.
Doogie.
You know, he was promising though, and
Yeah, he's a top 6 pick. You don't get picked in the top 6 unless you have at least some potential. Now, was he broken? Yes, he was mentally broken. He had no confidence in his shot. You could see he was scared to go to the free throw line because he knew he was going to miss. And when you have a basketball player playing like that, that is unhealthy. So in all reality, what he needs is a clean slate with no expectations, and that's exactly what's going to happen on the Memphis Grizzlies. And I hope that he turns out to be the player that we thought he was going to be, because that would not have happened if he stayed on the Minnesota Timberwolves this year. I think this is exactly what he needs, and I think it's just going to be the best for both camps. So, Jarrett Culver, I still believe in you, man. Thank you for all you've done for the Timberwolves. Not much, but thank you.
thank you for all the stress you caused. Yeah, actually, he was the second longest tenured Timberwolf on that. Or no, third. It was like Cat, Okogie, and then him. I believe were the players that were on the Timberwolves for more than one season, which is a little crazy. So goodbye to our longtime Timberwolf, Jarrett Culver. You're probably gonna kill it in Memphis. Memphis always destroys us, so I'm sure every time you play us, you're probably gonna win. And you're probably gonna score like a good 14 points and play good defense. So.
And not this year. It's different. It's different.
It's different. But and yeah, the last guy. No, we went over all three that got shipped off.
We've talked over about everyone.
Yeah. So would you say we won these trades?
I would say we won both of these trades by a decent amount. Like, I think we didn't they weren't robbery, but we won both these trades. These are really good trades.
I would say we 100% won the Torian Prince trade, in my opinion. We got a second round pick, cap space, cash, and a player who's had a better season than Rubio last year, first of all. And I think is just a bigger fit for our team right now. We need a wing. I think the Memphis trade is a win for both teams. I think we needed some veteran, fire and leadership on our team, and I think they are content with just shipping them off for some young players. And yeah. I think
Beverley was even on the team was he on the team for 2 weeks?
How long was Bev on the Grizzlies?
Yeah, like a week,
2 days maybe.
2 days. Okay,
yeah, it was like a day or two, I thought.
So,
but yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about what the future holds at the moment. I think.
Well, yeah. Should we get in? You want to get into summer league? We'll talk about that a little bit. I know neither of us really paid attention too in depth into the summer league, but I mean, we can touch on it for sure. I mean, so basically, usually in summer league, it's all about the rookies. You know what I mean? Like, everyone just watches summer league to see what like the top 5 draft picks do. But for us this year, it was not like that at all. We wanted to see our second year guys and just see what they could. So it was actually Noel is his 3rd year.
Yes.
So he was a 3rd year G League or summer leaguer. That's pretty rare.
That is rare. I mean, and we expected Noel and McDaniels to go into the G League and do well, and I think both of them exceeded expectations greatly. I don't know how. First of all, I don't know how Noel didn't make an all summer league team. He was like the third leading scorer in the summer league, and he had assists because he was playing point guard. He shot the rock really well. That was a really big snub. He was averaging like 22 points in summer league, which is extremely good.
They would never put a third year player on the summer league because they got to put those top 10 picks on there. That's how they get the likes,
That's true. Shout out to Luka Garza. If you guys
watch
that's our guy. Garza, man, he made an all summer league team. So that's. I mean, he was undrafted, wasn't he, or was he?
No, he went late. He like 50th, not 8th or something crazy like that. Was that a Coors?
Man. Times are changing, man. What?
Is that a Coors?
No, we're straight Diet Coke today.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we gotta. That would be an interesting concept for the some podcasts in the
And
future.
I'll call sponsorship if any companies are looking at me. That'd be something. All right, let's get back to topic.
Yeah.
So there were two players, and I always get their names freaking mixed up. I know one of them was named Isaiah or something.
Yeah, so
We
it's
had two players that potentially they played very well, and they both dunk a lot. And so you can take it over with who.
Yeah, so Isaiah Wright, I
Yep.
have no clue where he came from. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if he was on the team beforehand. I don't think he was on the Iowa Wolves beforehand, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was an undrafted guy. And then we had McKinley Wright, who is from Minnesota. Obviously, that was the big undrafted free agent signing that we had. And they both played good. They both were in the starting lineups. And the one guy, I forgot his name.
There's another guy. I wasn't thinking of
Atlanta
McKinley
Hawks
Wright.
guy,
Yep.
Book Knight. Isn't it Book Knight?
Book Knight? His name's not Book.
Or what is it? No, Nathan Knight. So that
How'd
was
you get Book?
I don't know. I think there's a guy named Book Knight on the roster. But besides the fact, Nathan Knight was an acquisition from the Hawks that went really under the radar. Gerson signed him. Or was it a trade? I'm not sure. We acquired him from the Hawks, and the Hawks fans were flooded in our comments. Like, we're actually sad to see this guy go. You got a really underrated player, and I had no clue about this guy.
Yeah.
And he looks like a Julius Randle prototype kind of. He's a 6'8" forward, and the dude can shoot like the mid range really well. And he hit a couple threes for us in the preseason and playing good defense, shot blocker. So hopefully the big man can work his way into the rotation. I'd love to see that. I mean, that'd be.
So
you
think he'll make the final roster two-way? Definitely a two-way contract.
Definitely a two-way.
How many two-way contracts do you get?
Don't quote
Three?
me, but I want to say it's 3. I was gonna say it's 3.
So right there, those are our 3 two-ways. Is McKinley, Knight, and Isaiah. What was Isaiah's last name?
Isaiah Wright. Yeah.
Isaiah Wright, Knight, and Right. Wait.
Nathan Knight, McKinley Wright, Isaiah Wright.
Right, and Knight.
Right, and Knight. There you go. Two rights make a night.
Two rights make a night. I had to put that on a t-shirt. Asshole Media.
Yeah, but I'm excited. Like I said, I don't think we really need to make any trades. I think we just, it's hard to say as Timberwolves fans, but let the guys develop. I think we, for once in our lifetimes, we have finally have a young core that I'm excited about. Like, every other Timberwolves team really hasn't had this young of a core.
Yeah.
Like, we're still the youngest team in the NBA, by the way. We even got younger, I'm pretty sure, because of the acquisitions. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy how young these dudes are. Like, we gave them last year, and I honestly think if we were under Finch the whole year, we weren't hurt. Like, I don't know if we would have made the plan, but we sure would have been like the 11th or 12th seed. We would have been competing with the Pelicans, Kings, and Spurs. Like, there's no way we wouldn't have gotten at least 10 more wins with a fully healthy team, in my opinion. But
100% factual there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going under finally a full off season with Finch at the helm. Obviously we lost Vanderpool. I'm sure that's probably for the best, because Finch is going to get one of his guys to come in. He's going to have an in-house guy. I'm assuming that he knows from previous jobs. So yeah, it'll be nice. It's his team. It's his team this summer. This is where Chris Finch is really going to be evaluated. I was okay with how, it went at the end of last season, because he just got thrown directly into a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. I don't know who would come out of that. Ryan would. I don't know what Ryan created, but he got thrown into a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be nice to see what we do with fresh legs. Everyone healthy. That's the biggest key. There was a good article. I don't know if Zone Coverage or who wrote it, but they said the 3 make or break players to the Timberwolves this year. Like, if
Was
if
it Darren?
guys, it wasn't Darren.
He only writes the good articles. Sorry.
No, you're good. But it's 100% D'Lo, McDaniels, and Edwards. I mean, we know what Cat and Malik do. They're consistent. It's if Edwards takes that next step, we make the playoffs. If McDaniels keeps doing what he's doing and just, I don't even know if he needs to take another step.
No.
Maybe he enhances his scoring a little bit, but if he just keeps doing what he's doing, that's a great step. And if D'Lo's healthy, I think we make the playoffs.
everyone forgets about D'Lo. I even forget about D'Lo. Like D'Lo, dude, like he's a great player, and he was so on the cusp of becoming a superstar. I remember arguing with Darren about that for a while, and I was just, and I fully believe that he can still become that
Did you argue with
superstar.
Dane? I think you argued with Dane about it.
I don't know. Yeah, Dane, one of those guys. But I mean, maybe was I not making much sense? Maybe, but I fully believe that he still has that superstar potential, and especially, I don't know. Like I think we already have our 3 superstars. I don't think we need to go out and add a Ben Simmons. I think we have our 3 and we have our bench. Like, I think we can make a huge run here. Not this year, maybe not next year, but 2 years, dude.
You know, barring no major injuries, in my humble opinion, I really do agree. If we have if we have all our starters for most of the year, I think we're a play-in lock. I think we are a better team than the San Antonio Spurs, who just got rid of DeMar DeRozan. Keep that in mind. I think obviously the Grizzlies were already in the play-in. I think they'll probably be in the play-in again. I don't see any reason why, they'd take a step back or take a huge step forward. They have Jackson back, but
we don't want to play them in the play, and we can. No, we don't. That is the hardest team for us to play in the league.
The Pelicans took a ginormous step back, losing Lonzo, in my opinion. And Bledsoe. Bledsoe's gone.
Yeah. So we
and the Kings too. The Kings are probably about the same. I don't see the Kings taking a huge leap, and that leaves at least one spot open. And you just take one of those 1 through 9 teams out. If one of them drops, I think we easily make the plan. I don't think there's any way we don't make the plan in the West if we're fully healthy. We at least 10 seed.
So my expectations going into the season are if we have decent injuries, like players are going to get injured. D'Lo is going to have his rest nights, like barring any, like what you said, any catastrophic injuries or like stupid trades. I don't. If we don't make the plan, I'm not gonna have any words.
I would if we're
we
healthy,
are so talented, man.
And we don't make the plan. Yeah.
Finch is done.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like
Rosas is done.
I agree. I mean, like,
and Cat's done too. I'm done with Cat too. If we don't make the play-in this year, Cat, we got to get rid of Cat while he still has some value, because he's not a winner. If we don't make the play-in, obviously.
I agree, man. Like I think like this is the year, man. Like Edwards takes that second step. We have 3 star players then if Edwards takes that second step, and a couple really good role players. I think Malik's obviously going to be Malik. He's going to be that guy who shoots the lights out. And I think Noel, if he's everything that we've seen so far and he's improved, like I don't see any reason that's not a potential 6 man of the year candidate coming off the bench. You just never know.
Yeah, so I want to get into a few more things. We haven't talked in a while. We haven't put out a video for a while. We can make this an extra long edition. So what's your starting lineup looking like right now? Who are your starters?
If I were to make a starting lineup like right at this moment.
Yep, we play tomorrow.
Just
first game.
First team and second team.
Yep.
It would probably be, I would say D'Lo at the 1. I'd say Ant at the 2. McDaniels at the 3. Hopefully, Vando re-signs and everything's good there. At the moment, I think I would put Vando at the 4 just for defense. And then Cat at the 5. And then coming off the bench, I would put Noel at the guard right now. I think he looked unreal as the point guard. I would put in Pat Bev. I would run an almost 3 guard lineup with Noel, Pat Bev, Malik. The 4 is still a little iffy. We always have issues with the 4. We never have any depth at the 4. So let's leave the 4 on pause right now, and then obviously Nas.
So you're missing 2 players. You're missing Okogie, and you're missing Prince.
So maybe Torian could be a small ball 4, because we like our small ball units. I mean, I would. He's 6'8", about, or 6'7", 6'8".
You're ready to be all out on. You're done with Okogie.
I think what we do best off the bench is scoring points. Like whenever our bench comes in, I think the main goal of a bench is to light a spark. Like you're obviously depending on game situation, like benches come in for different reasons. If we're, holding or maintaining a lead, obviously I think you'd run a lineup with you'd probably have Pat Bev in there. You'd probably have Bev, Beasley, and Okogie, I think, if you're trying to maintain a lead. But if you're trying to, get some offense going, I don't see why you wouldn't run a lineup like a smaller lineup like that can shoot.
Yeah, I think where the Timberwolves can have a lot of success here with the second team is if we kind of go away from the second team. If we just kind of have
fluid rotation,
6 or 7 guys that we can just rotate in and out based on the situation. Because what I'm seeing is I don't know if I want to start Vanderbilt. I don't know if he's an NBA starting power forward. He's a great player. I don't know if he's there yet. What I almost lean for is starting either Taurean Prince or Okogie at the 4. And I know that might sound crazy, but when you look at our starting lineup of D'Lo, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Cat, that's not a lot of defense, but that's a sure as heck a lot of offense. So if you throw Okogie in there, put him on their best player, because he can guard 1 through 4 at least. You put him on their best player, he has no expectations to score. That's kind of the same thing as putting Vanderbilt in there. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, no, I am a full proponent of 7-8 man rotations, 9-man rotations too. Even I hate platooning. I think
we're not going to do a platoon.
Completely kills the flow of. No, I think it kills the flow of the offense. I think it kills the flow of the game because you're bringing a completely new unit into the game who has a complete different identity. Our bench and our starters we try to model each other after. Like I think Nas and Kat are kind of good models, but like they're completely different play styles. I think we're trying to all accomplish the same thing here, but yeah, I agree with you. I think we need to rotate players in accordingly. I think a great first man in, honestly, is obviously Malik. I think you probably sub whoever our 4 is and move McDaniels down to the power forward and to the 3, and then Malik at the shooting guard, obviously, and then start rotating players in slowly. And I think the biggest thing that is going unnoticed yet again that we always talk about it is what is Cat going to be like on the 4, but what is Cat going to be like? What is Cat going to give us on defense here? What is he going to do? Like? We don't know.
He's been boxing a lot. He's been posting a lot on Instagram, mirror selfies. He's been going off on Instagram.
I haven't seen that actually. Yeah,
it's been weird.
He's acting like he's Manny Pacquiao, man.
It's been weird. It's been weird seeing his Instagram posts, but
he looks at least he's in shape, I guess. I saw the top comment was like, "This dude's been doing everything but playing basketball this offseason." I thought that was kind of funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, like there's some flashes. Obviously, we see some games where he's just clogging up the paint, blocking shots, and then we see other games where he looks completely clueless and he's getting bullied.
Got that Olay defense.
Yeah, so we don't. Right, I don't know. I don't know what the 5 is going to look like for defense here, but.
Yeah, another fun thing that I've heard people mention was maybe throw Nas in the starting lineup at the 4, or have him and Cat kind of an interchangeable 4 and 5 in the starting lineup instead of having Vando. I think that could be kind of an interesting look.
And I think everyone just likes to set a preset starting 5, but it really does depend on who you're playing. Like obviously, if you're playing a giant team like the Lakers, who are starting a 7-footer at center, AD at the 4, LeBron at the 5. Like that is an extreme amount of height. So obviously you're probably going to run a Vando, McDaniels, Cat front court. Like, yeah. But then if you're playing a small ball team like the Blazers, who are going to have Carmelo at the 4, you can get away with like McDaniels at the 4 and then run another guard lineup. Like it all depends on the matchups.
I don't know if McDaniels has proved himself yet as a starter. Like all these Timberwolves fan pages and stuff are putting McDaniels starting at the 3. And do you think he's ready for that? Has he proved himself to be an NBA starting 3, or do you think maybe he needs one more year to mature on the bench and then we can consider him our starting 3? Or do you think he's ready?
I think at the end of the year, and I think
we're talking game 1 against.
No, I'm saying I think at the end of last year and this preseason, I think he's proved to me that he deserves a spot in the starting lineup over a few guys. Honestly, I don't think a Kogi at this point in time deserves a starting spot day in and day out. I don't think he's given us what we need. He's way too inconsistent.
He's terrible.
There was a stretch. You remember the stretch of games where he went like 0 for 20 from the 3-point line?
Yeah, I swear every time I looked at the TV, he was bricking a corner 3.
Like,
I never saw him make one.
And obviously, there's the Malik argument too, and that's another
exactly. The narrative on
Malik's deserved a starting spot, but
the narrative on Malik has flipped. He went like I remember it was an unpopular thing saying he should be the 6th man next year. But now, like, he's automatically a 6th man. No one even questions him being the 6th man. But, like, you could make an argument for D'Lo, Ant, Malik, McDaniels, Cat.
But that's where I think that's exactly where we would go wrong, is putting Malik or Ant. I think Ant can body a 3, but I don't think Malik can play a bigger 2 or a bigger 3 whatsoever. And I think we'd be sacrificing defense.
He went to jail though. You don't think his defense is going to get better?
I don't know if he gained any defensive skills in jail. I'm going to be honest.
I 100%.
I think it's a perfect spot for him to be a 6th man. I think him and Noel work really well as a 6th and 7th man. I do. I think
can run that second unit.
Yeah, with what we have right now at the moment, I would start Anthony Edwards over Malik Beasley, because I think either one of them cannot play a wing position right now. We've seen them both play, bigger bodies, and it hasn't really worked. They both get dominated on the defensive end. It's pretty.
Anthony's
sad.
Defense is really bad.
Yeah, and
it's really bad.
And I would take Anthony Edwards over Malik, obviously, right now. And I don't think anyone would argue with that. You want to see the young kid develop, put him in, and throw him. We saw what happened when he was a starter. We saw the end of the year under Finch when he was a starter. 24 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Like, that's exactly what. If he gives us that, we're in the playoffs.
Dude,
he gives us that consistently.
Speaking of Anthony Edwards, he makes me proud to be a Timberwolves. Like, I'm proud to be an Anthony Edwards fan. Like, he's just so much fun to be a fan of. Like, he's just
when's that Ant jersey coming in the mail?
Well, actually, so I was gonna order a white one, but then I heard rumors that we might be getting Tree jerseys back. You hear that?
Okay, no, I haven't.
Through the grapevine, so I heard that, and I put a halt on. I'm like, okay, the Tree Anthony Edwards jersey.
Okay, that's fair. If those things come out, that would be unreal. I don't know.
Have to get a few. I don't even know.
I want to get an Ant jersey. I really do, but the
jersey.
The NFL is coming up. Justin Fields.
I knew you'd have to put Justin Fields in this podcast at least once.
I put him in twice. I think I used him as a.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did.
You love him.
I both those jerseys are necessities. I need both number ones on my favorite team. I need Fields and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
But
look at that on InSync.
I don't know. There's a lot. What?
We said at the same time.
I honestly believe there is a lot to look forward to. I know we said this last year, but even last year there was a ton to look forward to. We had the number 1 overall pick. We have the number 1 overall pick, and going into his rookie season last year, like that in itself is everything to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I don't think the Pistons are going to have an incredible season by any means, but they have Cade Cunningham. That's awesome. I would watch Pistons games like randomly. If I saw a Piston game on TV, I'm like, yeah, I want to see what Cade Cunningham looks like. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I would turn that thing on. And I think, like, that's how you have to look at it. We have so much young talent right now, and by any means, we are not the worst team in the NBA anymore. That is not us. It's going to be a decent season. If we all stay healthy, I think we make the play-in. At least.
Yeah, we got a lot.
How sick would that be? I think we do start beating some of these good teams. I think we do start doing that consistently.
Well, dude, we beat the Suns. We beat the Suns.
We swept the Jazz. Like, come on. Not even healthy.
So we got a lot to look forward to for as Timberwolves fans, but you have a lot to look forward to as Timberwolves Talk podcast fans, because Chris and I, we're going to be doing at least one podcast a week. I'm hoping maybe 2
We're
a
hoping.
week.
We're hope we can. I think we can say at least 2. I don't
I'm
see
hoping
any.
2 a week, but we're gonna give you guys a set schedule. That's kind of our main goal. Is once we get our class schedule figured out, our work schedule, we're gonna try to give you guys at least 1 day a week, where no matter what, we will record on that day, and then we'll probably scatter in some other ones throughout the week. But we are gonna really try to give you guys a nice schedule and just a podcast to look forward to. A lot of stuff's going to be going down on the Timberwolves _talk_podcast Instagram account. That's kind of where we'll give you almost like a Timberwolves fan page where we'll talk about stuff as the game's going on, maybe do some like live stories during the game. And so if you really want to stay up to date, I would follow that on Instagram. But Chris, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, there's, like, we're back. You guys have been waiting. We both feel comfortable in the position we're in right now to, 100% tell you guys, like, we're good to go. Everything is covered. The jobs are coming to an end. This is my last week of work. Peyton's done with work. We're gonna be back on the school grind, but that's when we get our most work done is those nights.
Because when that's when at least I get my most work done on this, because when it's school season and when I have schoolwork, the last thing I want to be doing is schoolwork. So I'll do anything podcast related first, and then I'll get the schoolwork done. So we're very productive then.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sunday night right now. You guys can at least, probably expect the next podcast to come out sometime next Sunday. I think that'd be a good day too, honestly, just in
Sunday?
general. I feel like Sundays are just a lot of people have free time to, watch stuff. It's Sunday. Sorry, Sunday while we're recording this, obviously.
I think a good idea.
We had the connection's been fine today, actually.
Yeah, you've been going out in and out a little bit, but I've played it off. I think it'd be a good idea for us to film Sunday nights. We can film Sunday nights, release it Monday, because I don't know. We can talk about this more after, but
I don't know. You guys leave it in the comments.
Let us
too.
know. What one day are you going to be down to watch the most or listen? Because we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we're on a bunch of other podcast streaming platforms that we don't even know, but our RSS feed puts us on. So like we're on like Podnod, we're on like all these other free podcast places. We're all over the place. So wherever you listen to your podcast, look up Basshole Podcast or Timberwolves Talk, and we'll come up and just download our podcast. Listen to it on the way to work. Listen to it during class. Listen to it wherever.
Let's do it doing homework, guys. I honestly, like, last year I listened to our own podcast doing homework, just like weird. Seeing what I could do better. Seeing what me and Peyton could do better on. Hey, listen to it while you're doing homework. It's an easy listen. It's not hard. You get your Timberwolves news in, because legitimately what we do every single day is we look up all the latest Timberwolves news, and honestly, it's the easiest way for you guys to get it. You don't have to do all the research. You can just listen to us talk, because whatever you hear us talking about is what you're going to look up when you look at Timberwolves online.
And we try to give it to you in like a like our podcast mantra is kind of, we like to make it like a casual conversation. So if you're looking for like the news, the facts, you go to Dane Moore, because he's straight to the fact. It's not like comedy really. It's just straight to the fact. With us, we try to give it to you like you're talking to your buddy on the phone. Like, hey, like, let's talk about the Timberwolves. That's what we kind of try to like make this dynamic. So it's just kind of a casual listen. You can have one ear in, one ear out, just like listening. That's just kind of how we want this podcast to be. So I guess we're signing off for the first episode of season 2.
I think we are. We are.
We've talked about a lot today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to comment what day it works best for you. And you know what? Thanks for watching. Chris, any last words you got for them?
I don't know. Just a big thank you again. Like, season 1 went really well. That is the sole purpose that season 2 is here. Besides the fact that we love talking about it. But if you guys weren't, giving us all this love and stuff, me and Peyton would just talk about this stuff normally. We wouldn't do a podcast about it. So thank you for the support, and hopefully we grow even more by season 2. So, hit that sub button. We're trying to get 500 subs by the start of the season. Tell your friends.
Thanks, guys. See ya.